Well, the race for a COVID vaccine is picking up with another company now one step closer to getting emergency approval.
But there is still a way to go. So here is what we know so far about AstraZeneca's new vaccine. The phase 2 trial showed that it worked for adults, especially people over the age of 70. And that's great news since they are at a higher risk than all of us. AstraZeneca is now in phase 3 trials. Earlier this week, 13 News talked with a 79-year-old Hoosier who is participating in the trial.
We need to look forward and get this vaccine so that we can all just kind of get back to, quote unquote, the new normal, whatever that may be, but and get back to living our lives rather than in fear. Be positive and make sure the world keeps turning.
IU School of Medicine is also participating in this phase 3 trial, and you can still volunteer. You can fill out a volunteer application at a link we've provided at WTHR.com/coronavirus.
So once we get these vaccines, how will it be handed out around the state? Right now, there are 50 hospitals in our state ready to receive and distribute the vaccine. Now, it'll only be available to people 18 years or older and will go to healthcare workers and high-risk Hoosiers first. State leaders don't expect to have enough vaccine doses for all Hoosiers until late spring or summer of 2021. The FDA puts together a panel of experts to look into each vaccine trial and offer an opinion on whether it should get the green light. They look for whether a vaccine is safe and effective and if the benefits outweigh the risks. After the panel sends their recommendations, the FDA makes a decision, and typically the FDA sides with the experts.
And we've had a lot of questions about if these vaccines are unsafe because of how quickly they've been made. So our Verified team looked into it. They found these trials are not cutting corners, but emergency use approval from the FDA does come with some risks since we don't know the long-term effects. So we have the full Verify report for you at WTHR on the app and on our website.
And Indiana continues to see a record rise in hospitalizations. Take a look at this. Earlier this week, wait for it, it's coming, I swear. More than 3,000 people were in the hospital. About 850 of those were Hoosiers in the ICU. Hospitals are preparing to reach and surpass their capacity. That's leading to a few viral posts online that need some clearing up.
Might have seen these tents outside IU Health's Methodist Hospital or the posts circulating around social media. Well, the truth is no patients have been inside, but that could change.
We've had these tents here since mid-March when we first saw the initial wave of COVID.
The tents have stuck around but haven't been used. And despite Facebook posts saying the hospital is out of ICU beds, Methodist leaders say beds are still available. But things are getting tight.
We have seen a significant increase in the volume of patients coming to the hospital, not all COVID. I can tell you that the COVID numbers inside the hospital, we're sitting at about 100 right now. As of Tuesday, we were right around 50, 55, and so in just a couple days, we've almost doubled.
Those spiking numbers sent hospital workers back to the tents this week, preparing them with beds and supplies for the first time, just in case.
My hope is that we don't have to put one patient in here. Based on where the trends are and what's happening, I don't know if that's true.
If the state's largest hospital hits the breaking point, each tent is stocked with PPE and equipment to help up to 8 patients.
And right now they're set up for med-surg level patients.
And while the tents are still empty, Lyndon hopes people will pass by and see them as a wake-up call.
We're not overwhelmed yet, but we're getting close as we look at that. My message would be smart. Look at your own personal risks with you and your families and truly think about how you are best going to be safe to protect you and those around you.
And now to COVID in schools. On Monday, IPS is starting online learning once again. This comes after Mayor Hogsett said all Marion County schools have to start e-learning by November 30th. So IPS decided to transition a week early. The district says all grades will go 100% remote until January. We have more information on our website at WTHR.com.